Galacticos, we are live now. Always a pleasure to be live. How are you today? How's your day going? I hope it's going well, like mine. Had a very interesting night last night watching the game. Sorry about this. Had a little water falling on my shirt. A little bit of an accident in the bathroom when I was getting my beauty on. I was getting my beauty on for this live stream. Talk about the game. So Goku Droid, welcome. We see some Galacticos are jumping in. Not yet. Well, anyway, let's talk about what happened last night. Really excited about. Hello, says Michael Sotelo Cabana. Michael Sotelo, hello. How are you, man? Welcome. Interesting, really nice. I was very excited to see Real Madrid compete again. I was definitely Cristian Villacorta, hola. Juan Carlos Garcia, Luis Enrique, hi. Football God, another trophy for Cristiano. Hello, guys. Just a little thing, says Brilliant Luis, what part of Lima are you from? I am from San Isidro, de la parte Pituca. But bueno, I left a long time ago. So for those of you who looking beautiful, thank you, Emad. Yeah. You know, got my beauty on, got some water on my shirt, accidentally. So for those of you who want to do it in Spanish, all right, those of you who want the review in Spanish, we'll be doing it in 25 minutes at 7 p.m. In 25 minutes, we'll be doing it on Facebook. We'll be doing it on Facebook in Spanish. So all right, let's talk about the game. I'm going to start with, a little picture. There you go. That's a beautiful thing. Sergio Ramos. What can you tell me about Sergio? Is it water? Yes, it is water. Brilliant, Luis. What can you tell me about Sergio Ramos, man? Sergio Ramos scoring that goal again in minute 93. Wasn't that insane? I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't. I mean, I could. But, hola, soy Marcos, says Marcos. What a goal from Asensio. Also, some heroes are policemen. Freeman, number 4. I like that comment, says, some heroes are policemen, firemen, and doctors, but Madrid has a hero with the number 4. True leader for a team. Also, I do want to say that it was not maybe Sergio Ramos' best game. But he shows up when he has to show up. Once again in a final in minute 93. I don't know. I think it's just it was very exciting. But to talk about the game, let's go with the lineup. He gave away a PK. That's interesting, says Basit Ali, because I don't think it was a PK. I actually think it was not. It was a hard play for the ref to call because he was just in an angle where it looks like a penalty, and there seemed to be a player that was blocking his view, but it wasn't a penalty. Sergio Ramos was going to go for the tackle, and the other player, I don't know, I can't remember who it was, had already dribbled inside, and when he saw that Sergio Ramos was putting the leg up, he kind of let himself fall, but there was no contact, so there wasn't a penalty. But refs make mistakes. It's part of the game. It was not even like he came up from nowhere with the penalty. It was a tough call. We have the benefit of seeing the replay many times and saying like, oh, he's crazy, but he has to call it 1 second after it happens. So it's definitely a tough call. I don't think it was a penalty again, but anyway. So what do you think about the lineup? Let's go with the lineup here. Okay, we saw Casilla, Ramos, and Varane. The defense, as we knew was going to happen, Carvajal and Marcelo. Casemiro, Kovacic started. Vitolo was the player. Thank you, Basket and Football. Vitolo was the player in the foul. It's a nice dribble from Vitolo. I thought Modric was going to start and James was going to start. What I thought was that James, Modric, Isco, and Casemiro were going to start with Vasquez and Morata. So we're seeing here then, James came in for Isco. First up, Modric came in for Kovacic, and Benzema came in for Morata. So what do you think? Salúdame. So a big up for Ricardo Raúl Racini Ruiz. Tell me your opinions about the lineup, says. I'm going to admit it right now, I'm not convinced with Morata. Nothing really special about him. 4 games, maybe 3 or 4 shots only, says Emad Hassem. I've been saying this for weeks, man. I haven't bought into the whole Morata craze or hype. I don't think he's ready or he's a good enough striker to be in Real Madrid. Zidane sees something in him. We might have to trust Zidane and just be patient and see what happens. But so far, I actually like the way Morata started last night. I think he started strong, but he started diluting himself in the game. Got caught in a lot of offsides. Sometimes you get caught in offside, but when you get caught in a lapse of 25 or 30 minutes 4 or 5 times in offside, that's maybe because you're not focused, or you're not doing things right, or you're not finding your position, or you're not kind of getting the pace of your team. So whenever there's a through pass for you and you're offside, that can also ruin some of offensive plays that we were creating. But anyway, we need practice with Morata, says R7007, RC007. He still hasn't played with Kroos and Modric yet. Only 4 or 5 strikers in the world can score without such service. Nah, okay. Respectable point of view. I don't know if I fully agree. I just think Morata lacks something. He's very good at specific things, especially in the first half an hour. The first 5 minutes, I think Sevilla came out pretty strong. They were very, desireful to press very up high. But after 5 minutes, Real Madrid took control of the game. And the first 35 minutes, I was thinking, I'm really happy to see Real Madrid dominate a final because let's be honest here, yesterday only 4 of the regular starters started. Casemiro, Marcelo, Ramos, and Carvajal. Casilla will not be a starter, even though he might play. Varane will not be a starter, even though we're going to see a lot of him. Same thing with Kovacic. He's not going to be a starter. I hope we see a lot of Kovacic. I like him very much. But same thing with Asensio. Asensio is kind of knocking on the door more and more every day. But still, Morata and Lucas Vázquez, these are players that will and Isco. So out of the 11 players, probably only 4 will be the regular, let's say, top team starters. So I was very happy to see Real Madrid dominate the game in that situation, in that scenario. So let's see how do you guys say? Hello, this channel is good, but why English? Alejandro, we do it in English and Spanish. You want to do the review on Facebook? We'll be on Facebook in 20 minutes. So go to Real Galacticos on Facebook and we'll do it there in Spanish. I don't know, but Benzema came in, had an impact from the first touch. We really need another striker other than Morata. I completely agree with you. I've been saying this. Of course, there are still 3 weeks in the transfer market that will be closed on the 31st of August. So there's still time for Madrid to make some movements in the market. Apparently, all the big movements have already been made. All the teams are already getting ready, let's say, squad-wise. And Real Madrid haven't done anything but bring back Coentrao and Morata. So I don't know if that's the plan. Maybe Zidane is happy with the squad, and his opinion or his thought is, look, we don't need anybody else. We have what we have. Which, to be honest with you, guys, is great. What we have a very solid squad. I think without any signings, we still have probably the strongest squad in Europe right now. How does it feel seeing United sign Pogba, says Erin17. Feels all right. I don't know. How did it feel for you? I was really, to be honest with you, not very psyched with the whole Pogba thing. I think he's a good player, but maybe he's one of the players that we don't really need in the squad. It would have been more of, again, a Florentino, Galactico kind of signing. And, I don't think we need him. I think we need a player of a more defensive profile in the midfield, or a striker. But really Pogba, because Pogba would have come in to replace either Kroos or Modric. And to be honest with you, Galacticos, I hope you agree with me, I wouldn't replace Kroos or Modric for Pogba right now. Maybe in 2 years if he blows up, but well, we'll see. Maybe he doesn't. But right now, I would not change Kroos and Modric for Pogba. No. I wouldn't change James for Pogba. I wouldn't change maybe Isco. I'm not saying that Isco is better, but I'm saying that the role that Isco has found in this team, Pogba will not do. And, replacing one for the other, I wouldn't. So there you go, man. We have 4 midfielders that I wouldn't replace for Pogba. That's my opinion. How do you feel? What player should we buy, says Celta Music. Who should we sign? What about David Alaba? Basket, you will do a direct on Spanish? Yes, Basket. Again, I'm saying in 20 minutes we'll be live on Facebook. Who should we sign? Again, I think, let's say Asensio is a signing, for example. Asensio is a player that nobody was counting on before the summer. He kind of blew up in the preseason. I mean, the goal he scored yesterday was amazing. Talk a little bit about Asensio here, making an effort. And I consider Asensio a signing, for example. It's a backup signing. I have my doubts that he will be a starter. But, we already have the starters in Kroos, in Modric, in Casemiro, maybe a bit more of James and Isco. But Asensio as a sub is a great. I don't think we could have signed better than Asensio. I don't know, what do you think there? Without Modric, we are useless going forward. He changed the game when he came on. He will probably never find a special player like Modric against his football god. Those are strong words. I do agree with you. I agree that when Modric is, in his prime, because yesterday he kind of took him a little bit to get into the game. When he came in, maybe his first 10, 15 minutes were not that great. Then, of course, his experience and, once he kind of got in game pace, of course, it's Luka Modric. But that's one of the beautiful things, like if every player was replaceable, this would be very boring. ¿Por qué hablas inglés? Says Fabian Rivas. We do it in English because for English fans, we'll do it in Spanish in 15 minutes on Facebook. Kovacic played great. He's such a dynamic player and is full of energy. Says Stefan Schwarzmeier, one of the Galacticos of always. So yeah, I agree with you. I like Kovacic a lot. I think Kevin ASNS. Hi Kevin, welcome. So Stefan, I agree with you. I like Kovacic a lot. I think he's one of the most promising players. It is true that he makes some mistakes, maybe because he's a little bit too hot-headed. But I like that. Because whenever he comes into play with the game, whenever he participates in the plays, whenever he has the ball or is looking for the ball, he wants to go forward and he's going to do something different. He's going to try to do something different. He's a very good dribbler. I don't think he has shown to be a good, good taking shots from outside. He doesn't have that kind of danger. But he's a good dribbler. He's a good passer. He's very intense off the ball. In defense, he's like a pit bull, and I love that. I've been saying it the whole season. Kovacic is one of my favorite players. I really hope he stays and that he becomes a very reliable sub for us. 4 goals in 8 finals for Sergio Ramos. There you go. There you go, man. Sergio Ramos. Another picture of Sergio Ramos. Ding! Lifting the trophy, the captain. Let's say, what do you think about Isco leaving to Juve? I love Isco, but you said we should sell him. Amit Duifai, our friend Amit Duifai. How have you been doing, Amit Duifai? I haven't heard from you in a long time. I would like to keep Isco. Probably now with this rise of Marco Asensio, maybe, it's either Isco or James. I would like to keep the 3 of them, and maybe, I don't know. It's a tough. Again, I think we have an overload of midfielders. Yesterday it was good because Kroos was not there, but with the full squad, it might become a problem for Zidane. Hopefully not. Did you lose all hopes after 90 minutes? No, you never lose hope, but I did think. We couldn't. We lost it. We should have won it because I think. Even though Sevilla was stronger in the second half, I think they definitely took control of the game in the second half. In the overall context of the 90 minutes, I think we were a stronger team. We created more chances, but yeah, this is football. You don't deserve because you create more chances than it's not about that. So yeah, I was losing hope. I didn't lose it, but I was losing it. What player do you think we need to buy? I was expecting the Ramos goal at all. I was so happy. I think after last night, people will start hoping for that Sergio Ramos goal in minute 93. I mean, you can't deny it. You can't deny it, really. So, of course, we're talking about what happened last night. We need it for the Copa. Odegaard should have more minutes. Apparently, Odegaard is in the interest of West Ham United, and I think that would be a very good loan. Odegaard is good, but, man, with the overload of talented and more, let's say, experienced midfielders we have, Odegaard has no place in this team, man. Like, where do you put Odegaard? With Kroos, Modric, James, Isco, Casemiro, now Asensio. Where do you put Odegaard? When do you put Odegaard? And why? Yeah, no yet. I don't think yet. Varane good enough to replace Pepe? Let's say how are you, man? Yeah, I think hopefully this will be the breakout season for Varane. He's been already for 4 years with us, and we've always been waiting for that breakout season from Varane that has not happened yet. But still, 60 million plus Pepe for Alaba, I think that's insane. I would never do that. In which league would you loan Odegaard? I think he's going to go to West Ham United. What do we need to win La Liga? We need regularity. That's what we need. It's something that we didn't have last year. Because of the injuries, performances, of course, changing the coach mid-season. the whole emotional relationship, psychological relationship of the players with the coach, sent everything to the garbage. And yeah, definitely what we need is regularity. That is what defines the winner of the league, is regularity. Even Barcelona, who won it last year, they had a lot more regularity than us. They had that little bump, big bump of 4 weeks where they almost lost it, but they had been so regular that not even 5 weeks of just wasting points was enough for them to lose it. So it's about regularity. I think, to answer your questions, Galacticos, Lewandowski, soy de Costa Rica. Hola, papá. So the score, the lineup, we talked about that. We talked about Asensio, talked about a trophy. We're going to be ending this Galacticos. I want to answer some questions. So ask me some questions, guys. So we can close this up. What do you want to ask? Ask whatever you want. I'm here to answer whatever you want. What do you think about the Mexican players like Chicharito, Carlos Vela? I like Mexican players. I think Chicharito had a great time here. Only a year, he could have stayed longer. Carlos Vela is one of my favorite players. He didn't have such a great season last year, but he's definitely a good player. I never really understood what happened with Carlos Vela and the national team, and why the whole thing happened where all this soap opera of Carlos Vela not wanting to go to the national team and not going in the end. Maybe you can shed some light and tell us what happened there. How old are you? I'm 32 years old. I'll be 33 in October. Would you like a new defender? Pepe is getting old. I think Pepe still has 1 or 2 very good years in him. We saw it this year, man. The way he ended the season and the Euro Cup he played, being the MVP of the final, I think you can't really argue with that, man. Do you think Peru is going to qualify to the World Cup someday? Brilliant Luis. That's a personal, emotional Peruvian question. I think, if your time lapse is someday, well, yeah, hopefully someday. For those of you who don't know, last time the Peru, my country, and I think Brilliant Luis's country, qualified to a World Cup was here in Spain in 1982. The decade of the 70s and the 80s, we had a very good team. We haven't been in the World Cup for 34 years. And let's see if we go to Russia, but I don't know. Win the league by 100 points or with 100 points. By 100 points is impossible. With 100 points, we've already done it with Mourinho, don't forget. ¿Quién crees que gane los Olímpicos in football? I don't know. I was hoping for Brazil, but they tied with Iraq. I don't know what's going to happen. What do you think? What are your thoughts on what? On James for this season? I think yesterday when he didn't start, I was thinking, maybe this is a kind of message from Zidane. He's like not really counting on James in the first official game. But I think what happened yesterday was Zidane rewarding the players who did the full preseason. And that's what we saw. And I think that worked. And just letting in the players that are going to be more important or have a more protagonist role, little by little. Players that incorporated themselves into the team in the second or third game of the preseason. Because when you have played 20 or 30 games, 1 or 2 games don't make a difference. But when all you've played is 3 or 4 games, 1 game makes a big difference. So I think that's what Zidane was doing. I don't think he was sending a message, because otherwise you'd think, was he sending Modric a message? Is Modric not going to play? So no, I think and I hope that James is going to be very important for us this season. It's going to be a lot better of a season for him than it was last year. Saluda Munem Cartuch. Saludos for Munem Cartuch. Are you not scared that we barely beat Sevilla? No, I'm not scared, man. Sevilla have won the Europa League 3 times in a row. Man, beating a lot of strong... Sevilla is a good side, man. They're and we beat them in a tough final. This is a final. We can't expect Real Madrid to just walk over all their rivals, man. Sevilla is a very strong team. And, as I said at the beginning, we only had 4 of the starters. We didn't have Cristiano, we didn't have Bale, we didn't have Kroos, there was a Keylor. So I think in both teams in their prime, in their peak, when we play them mid-season, we're probably going to have less troubles beating them. But last year they beat us, man. In Sevilla we lost. It was our first defeat of the league last season was in Sevilla. So, never underestimate Sevilla. I'm not scared that we barely beat them at all. I think that's great that we won, It's great. We should be happy that we won and not disappointed that we didn't win 4-0. Let's say, Harold, that's true, but we won't have these guys a lot of the season. Ronaldo will retire at 40 for Madrid. Zidane is the best coach. He win the Supercup without the start line. I think the thing with Zidane is just a matter of waiting. We have to wait and see what Zidane can do. Anyway, Galacticos, always a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to leave you with the last thing for today. A little picture of Florentino with Ray Liotta. For those of you who haven't watched Goodfellas, look at that. I love that picture, man. I really love it. When I saw it, I thought it was really funny. You know, it was kind of reminded me of, I thought Florentino was going to ask him, Ray Liotta, am I funny? Funny how? Do I amuse you funny? Thoughts on Sudan? I don't know, my friend, Mahmoud Ali, what kind of thoughts? I don't know, would you be more specific? Will Zidane win the treble? Anyway, Galacticos, hope you enjoyed it. Okay, it's always a pleasure being with you, and we'll be with you tomorrow. Go on to check on our channel, check the fan cams of last night, they were very funny, and the review, and see what do you think. So, again, I'm signing off. Always a pleasure to be with you, Galacticos. Have a great day. Big ups for Let's Sapiens, for Brilliant Luis, for Michael Guthrie. We're going to be on Facebook in 10 minutes. Facebook Live in Spanish. So if you wanna talk in Spanish on Facebook, we'll see you there in 10 minutes. All right? Bye, guys. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.